Coach, what was the sort of thing that made Coach Baker stand out as the candidate?
I don't think it was necessarily one thing as much as just who he is as a complete person and coach. Some of the things that stood out from talking to the people that have been with him at multiple different stops, his work ethic, his character, his knowledge of what he's doing, all those stood out at every stop. I think he is viewed in the college football landscape as a rising star, a guy that, as he said, is prepared for this moment. And then it came down to, I think the style of play will fit us here for what I wanted to go to. And that's, I wanted to be much more aggressive, and I wanted something that was going to attract our fans and recruits. And so I think we got all of that with John David.
Coach, will the two of you evaluate the other offensive coaches, or will Coach Baker take care of that? And
so he and I will work together to ensure that he has an offensive staff that is prepared to implement his style of play to the fullest extent. So we're both in discussions on that.
Okay, you kind of talked about it, Coach, but just the importance of going to the portal and trying to find a quarterback or developing a guy here. Just how much of a focus is that for the staff right now?
Well, I think it's probably the number one priority for anybody that's tied to that position. So his priority, our recruiting staff, myself, it's making sure that our quarterback position room is prepared to lead our program.
You're obviously overseeing everything, but how hands-on are you going to be with the offense, and how much is it John David Baker's offense?
It's his offense to run. I'm not going to call plays. My job is to support him and support our offensive coaches and support our players, and I'm going to make sure he has everything he needs to be successful at a very high level.
What has been kind of the response that you've gotten since it kind of has come out that he's the guy?
I think everybody's excited. I think our players are excited. They're going to meet him officially here in a little bit, but I've got enough stuff over the weekend that they're energized by this. I think our fan base, if they're not excited already, they will be the first time they see us line up this spring. But I think that my feedback I've gotten from people in the industry is that we made a very solid choice.
I know John touched on with John a little bit, but from your perspective, when did his name first enter your mind as a possible candidate, and how did you two kind of get in touch over the last couple of weeks?
His name came up as soon as I started looking. It was one of the first ones that I received. I consulted a lot of people in the industry, people I trust, people that know who the next guys are, and I told us I want to look at everything. I want to look at guys that had experience play calling, guys that had been a coordinator. I want to look at the next up and coming stars. I want to look at every bucket to see which one would fit us best. So he came up very early in the process, and like I said, the more we went on, the more it became clear he was the right choice for us.
Ole Miss certainly has some, a lot of run principles in their offense, but they do air it out, push the tempo a little bit. Just when you look at yourself as a head coach, you went from triple option to the RPO-based scheme of Donnie to now this. How would you kind of assess how much you've kind of had to evolve over time with the sport of football too?
Well, I think I've got to evolve in a lot of areas.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know if you could get on a completely different spectrum than what I have in the last 13 years, but. The one thing I think you're always evolving. You're evolving as a coach. You're evolving as a program. You're always pushing yourself to get better and to improve. As John David referenced up here a while ago, this is a situation where I feel like this offense gives us the opportunity to be highly competitive this fall, and we all have very high expectations for what we can be. And I thought that was probably a key piece.
do you feel like the guys you have in place at a lot of the skill positions are going to fit what he's trying to do?
I think there will be, the vast majority will fit within his scheme, and I think there are some pieces that we need to make sure we acquire to make sure that he has everything he needs. But certainly we've discussed, we've discussed the guys we have on the current roster, and I'm excited to see how he uses those guys. Really, really excited.
Any other questions for Coach Houston? Coach,
All right.
thank you for